What's going on, YouTube family? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight for some more lake breakdowns. That's right, it's always about lake breakdowns here on Simplistic Fishing. Of course, we do live fishing, so make sure to check everything out. But tonight, we're going back to Lake Belton. I know I talked about on the Google Earth breakdowns. I wasn't sure if I was going to do an offshore breakdown, but I'd go and look at the map. Well, I was way, way wrong on saying, you could probably just get away with it by just fishing, those areas that we talked about through all those Google Earth videos. But I think I was wrong. There's a lot of offshore spots here. Looking at the contours of this lake and things like that, there are a lot of opportunities out there. So we're going to continue to do the breakdown for Lake Belton until we finish this thing. I know it's been a lot of videos, but it's well worth the time, especially if you're going to go out there and fish it, to really understand the lake and understand what you're fishing. You can get on different patterns. You can set yourself up totally different by using these waypoints to your advantage based on seasons and patterns and stuff like that, like I just said. So anyways, let's jump into it. Let's go into Lake Belton. We're going to start by going offshore with Navionics Mobile Lab. Here we go. All right, let's get started on Lake Belton. Now, I want to go over a couple things first before we jump into this. One, I'm not going to be able to show you every single offshore hotspot that could possibly be out there on Lake Belton. That's just not possible. But I am going to show you places where I think are going to be really high percentage areas for fish to be attracted to or relate to based on the contours and things that we're seeing here off of the Navionics mobile app that I'm using. So with those two things being said, I just want to point those out. And then the other thing is there were some comments that were made on social media about this being like Fish Life. I don't know if you know what Fish Life is, but Fish Life gives you certain waypoints to go fish, and they tell you exactly what to fish in those points, and they say that those are the hot spots for that time of season. And I think it's pretty good, actually. I think there's guides that actually put it together. It's not too bad. I don't have any negatives against it, but this is not the Fish Life app. I don't want you guys to use this app and think that, or use these waypoints and think that you can just go to each one of these waypoints and there's going to be fish on there. That's not the point of these waypoints. The point is to break down the lake and then let you develop your own patterns based on seasons and all kinds of other things like that. Now, these offshore spots, obviously, they're going to be good during certain times of year, and they're going to be not so good during certain times of year. And it's also going to depend on where the fish are staging. Are they back up in the backs of the coves? Are they out in the main lake? So all those things you've got to consider. So just remember that if you do get the waypoints from Simplistic Fishing, I'm not telling you there's going to be fish there every single time. I'm just pointing out spots on the map that are high percentage areas for you to try and locate the fish. You take those waypoints, you develop your own patterns based on seasons, all the trends, stuff like that, and then hopefully it will help you. I'm telling you, it will change the way you fish. So go out to the site, simplisticfishing.com. You can get the waypoints. Let's go ahead and jump in to this thing and let's start talking. So enough about all the mumbo jumbo. So starting down here at the dam, obviously really deep lake here, 90, 95 foot, 100 foot. And so that's what I meant by when I was talking to you guys earlier about there's not too much offshore stuff, because once you get too far offshore, it gets pretty dang deep. And of course, we're not really fishing that deep. Obviously, there are smallmouth in here though, so you can definitely go deep on this lake and still catch fish. But let's talk about the first spot. I really like this spot right here. It's right on the edge of a main lake point. Looks like there could be a little bit of a flat there as well, coming up over the top of it, so kind of a good little feeding table as well. Just right there, main lake point, down by the dam. Those are always good points to look at. And you might be able to find some debris and stuff like that down by there as well. Then as you come up here, as you get up into this little cove, two little spots here that I liked. And of course, we're talking offshore on Belton. Again, if you get too far offshore, I'm in 100 foot of water, so it's going to be somewhat limited, to staying within about 25 feet or less as far as the points I'm going to point out here. But these two spots right here really grab my attention. One, because they're perfect staging areas for the fish to set up and stage on. And two, you've got some really sharp breaks going on right here by the edge of the shoreline. So if you look at the one on the right, That one, it's a creek channel swing that's swinging right up against the point, so those are always primo spots. Plus you have flooded timber. The other side is the same thing, except for on that side, the creek channel swing is actually on the land side, not on the point side. To the west, and you can see that makes a really good break there too. So that spot right in there, I could see that being a very productive spot. And I didn't mark this one, but this one could be as well. This could be the same type thing where that creek channel is swinging up against the land right there. And if it is, that could be just a really good spot to look. So if you're back here and maybe you launch at this boat ramp right here, I would say check this out, scan right there by the boat ramp and then come over here and scan this and fish this for sure. I think those two little points are going to be really good for you. All right, so let's pull out of here and we're going to keep moving on up the point. I believe they said that was Arrowhead Point or something like that. I think that's what that said. Arrowhead Point. So we're moving off of Arrowhead Point and we're going to move up here. And now we're going to get up to where it makes that first little turn. And we talked about this a little bit in the Google Earth breakdown because there was some rock and some debris and stuff like that. But this looks really, really good. One, you got a main lake point, so that's always good. But there's a couple good spots here. One, I like all of this foundations and things like that. It says there's some buildings and stuff down here, so you could definitely go check that out. It looks like they're scattered throughout this whole thing. So I put the mark there, but you're going to want to scan that whole kind of bank line right there off the edge of that point. And then coming out here, this looks really good. You've got a hump that's out here. This hump sets at about 25 feet. So yeah, it's deep, but right below it's 40 something feet deep. So really good spot, probably a real good spot to find some smallmouth as well. You've also got a really good saddle that's right in here. And you've got a roadbed that's up here too. So a lot of things in this area that the fish could be attracted to. You've also got a nice little flat top coming up here and a nice break. So just that whole spot right in there just looks really good from an offshore standpoint. And then I don't know if you can move back here. Looks like you might not be able to move back there, but if it is buoys, you can. If you can get back there, it does say that there are some steps that are out here. So I just wanted to mark that because sometimes those steps can be really awesome places to go fish. And this one's kind of off the beaten path, so I went ahead and marked that one for you guys. All right, so we're going to keep moving up. So we're going to go up this main arm and we'll come back down the west side. But as we're coming up the main arm, this first little inlet right here, there's a little spot right in here that I really liked. Let me zoom into it and I'll show you. But there's a roadbed that comes right across. So potentially this could be one of those kind of off the beaten path places. If that roadbed really is still there, that could be a really good spot to go find some fish, something that's maybe not as obvious. It's not like a main lake point or anything like that, so it might not get as much pressure as some of those other areas. All right, let's keep moving on. And let's move on down this shoreline down here. And again, I'm not marking every single offshore hotspot. I'm just marking some key areas that really, jumped out to me that said, hey, you definitely should go look at this. So I didn't see too much up in here. Obviously, all these points are going to be good, but they're not really offshore. I mean, you're just kind of fishing the points, and we already talked about those on the Google Earth side. So things that I'm going to point out here are going to be more related to the contours that I'm seeing. And the next spot would be right in here. If you look right in here, this has got a really good point right here. There's something going on right there as well. But a real good point right here, but a real nice break right in there. And we talked about this a lot on a lot of the breakdowns. And of course, this isn't necessarily a bluff wall, but anytime you get those really steep drops, and then right where they start to come up gradually, right there at the very end, those are usually key spots where the fish will collect at. So that spot right there is kind of that same thing. You've got this really steep area right in here, 30 foot, and then it's gradually going to come up, to 10, 15 foot. So those are always really good spots to go try to find the fish. Now that is away from the creek channel side, so might not be as productive maybe as this side with the creek channel, but I still think that's going to be a good spot to look at. All right, so we're going to keep moving up here, and the next thing that I found up here, let me show you where I'm at, because this lake's kind of tricky when it comes to showing you guys where I am. I'm moving on up, I'm moving off that, I'm coming up here, and now I'm going to be right here in this little section, right here where all these buoys are. And you can see it, obviously, from a contour perspective, everything's kind of the same. Then all of a sudden you get into this little flat area right here. So 15, 20 foot little flat. You've got probably some brush piles or something out here. Real good flat table up here, real good points. And out here you've got some more humps and stuff like that, it says, from that. But you've got the humps, but you've also got this roadbed that's right here. So fish around the roadbed, right in here around this break. Scan around the top. They could be feeding up here on the top. And don't forget about coming over here to these points that aren't so obvious. You've got a little point right here, 14 foot, and all of a sudden it drops to 20 foot. So a lot of good stuff going on here. Almost like a little saddle going on right in here. It goes down to, says 12 foot and then back to 20 foot. So maybe it's not a saddle, but anyways, just really good areas to try to locate some fish. I could see fish collecting there pretty good, and it's right off the river channel bend right there too. So that always is a big plus. All right, so we're going to keep moving down here. Didn't see too much down here. Obviously, again, fishing points and stuff like that, that's what you're going to focus on, but go back and watch the Google Earth video for that. As we move up here a little bit further north, I did like this spot right in here. So one, we've got this little bridge that's out here. It's in 36 foot, so that might be a little bit too deep, but with smallies, that's definitely potential. But right in here, see where this little break is right here? This is a really good little flat area, 6 foot, and then it breaks really hard right in there. So like that. And then the other side's just as good. You've got a creek channel that's running from back in here. So a really good fall spot probably as well. But coming back in here, you've got a real good break going on right in here. So a nice little ledge, and then it's coming right off the point with some flooded timber. So all of that area right in there just looks really, really good. So let's keep moving up this bank line here. I'm going to zoom back so you guys can see where I'm at. We're going to keep moving up, and we're going to go to this next area. And this next spot, really like it as well. Again, it's a creek channel area, and again, it's a point. But again, same thing as we've been seeing. We've got a roadbed that's coming off this point as well. So we've got the roadbed here, got a pretty good little point going on here. Nice ledge coming right off that point. Got a creek channel. Looks like the creek channel probably swings a little closer to here. That's what's causing that ledge. And then you've also got, looks like a submerged bridge or a culvert or something out there as well. So all those things added together makes me think that could be a really good spot to go look for some fish. Next spot's going to be down here. Same thing. Looking where that creek channel comes in, it comes up and it swings right up against the bank line right in there. So anywhere right in here could be good. Just kind of set off of it a little bit and work that ledge, and you might have some pretty good success. Then we're going to move up. We're going to get up here to the straighter part here. We're probably going to go up and finish around here somewhere. But we're going to go up. And the next spot, if you're following me, these are going to be hard to follow, but come right in here, this first little cove that's right over here. I really like it. It's got a really good break right here. Real good point, but it's got a roadbed right there too. So you got the roadbed and the point and the good break. I can see all of that being a really good combination. And then of course, focusing on that river channel like we did on Google Earth. So just make sure to go look at those videos. But as we move up here, we get a little bit further up. We're pretty far on the north side of the lake now. But as we get into this little area in here, there's a couple different spots I wanted to show you. One right here, we got flooded timber, plus you got a roadbed, and you got the submerged culvert, so that looks good. You've also got this stuff out here that could be interesting. This little hump right here at 18 feet, that could be productive. You've also got out here, I've got a marker out here. I believe there's a brush pile or something like that was here. Can't see what that one was, why I was marking that one, but go check that one out. I think that was a brush pile. And then back in here, you've got a submerged culvert too. And again, you've got these really nice breaks going right here, right by that culvert, with that creek channel being right there as well. So that area right in there could be primo for sure. You got that roadbed over here as well. Kind of comes out. I don't think it comes out as far. I still don't know why I made that mark there, but it says it right there. I just can't get to it. All right, so we're going to keep moving on up. We're going to go up here to the main bridge, and then right here on the main bridge, I would definitely go look at this. If you look at this, there's this little underwater point that comes out. It's like 16 feet. I'm sure it's got rock on it. I'm sure it's good. And then right off the edge of it, you've got a little creek bed that swings up right against the edge of it, and then it swings out over the point. So that spot right in there, really good spot, really easy to access, all that stuff. You got a boat ramp right here, so you could literally just launch here at Leona Park Boat Ramp, and you'd be right on it in about 2 seconds. So all kinds of good stuff there. Let's keep moving up and see if I marked anything else up here. I think I had a couple more. Yeah, I've got 3 more that are up here. Obviously, we're getting more into the river here. But again, just looking here, this is a spot where I would definitely want to go out and scan, because you've got a little bit of a river channel, like a bend going on right there. So nice little curve. That's usually spots where stuff will collect up, brush piles, stuff like that, all that good stuff. So make sure to go look at that. There's another one of those bends right here. And then there's the final one, the really nice one that I could see. There's obviously a decent one right in here. Got some flooded timber here, but there's a pretty good bend right here as well that you can go check out. So that basically takes us to the north side of Belton. Let's go down a few more, and then we're going to end the lake. We'll go down and we'll talk about these points right over here by the bridge, and we'll end here on this video. And then I'll come back and I'll do one more video for you guys where we finish up the rest of Lake Belton. So right here, right, we talked about that little point that was over here, right? Well, if we come out, one, there's a fish attractor site that's out here. So that'll be marked for you guys. You'll see that on the waypoints. But also over here, you got a roadbed that comes through and a little island. Well, that little ledge right there on the outside of that island, that could be a really good spot to try to find some fish. This point looks good. It's got a roadbed off the top of it. Good little point, creek channel coming out the side of it. Got a culvert over here as well. And then if you get back in here, there's a brush pile that's right there, just west of where that roadbed is. So go check that out. Again, all these waypoints are going to be out there for you guys if you want them. I've got them for sale out on simplisticfishing.com, so go check out our site. We not only have Lake Belton, but we've got several other lakes out there, so definitely go check it out. And don't forget to go check out our sponsors, www.habitoutdoors.com. They've got lots of awesome fishing gear and hunting gear for you at a really good, reasonable price, so go check it out. And make sure to check out the Major League Fishing gear. That's my favorite stuff. Anyways, guys, until next time, hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.